Huh? What? Sorry. That definitely wasn't my pick.
Really?
It sent
I
out
could totally beat that one.
It sent out a Rattata. Hey everyone, welcome to my Sinister Cup rematch for the Townsville Pogo Discord group. We had a really nice tournament today, good time. I accidentally missed my first match against Megan Meow, I didn't record it. I won the first match, so we're into the second matchup. Megan's got a very good team here. Interesting to see Lucario picked as her fighting Pokemon, considering he'll be quite squishy, especially to all the Shadow Ball users. So we'll get into the matchup here. You can see now we have a positive matchup in our Poliwrath versus Steelix, which probably should have bailed on this matchup, but she stays in and we get to as many Dynamic Punches as we need to get the victory here. Down goes Steelix and she's got no shields left, brings out her Alolan Raichu. One thing I noticed on Megan's team is she didn't power up her Dusclops fully. I'm not sure if that was because she didn't have enough dust or it was poor IV. Although it'd probably be very poor to get down that low, but anyway, that's alright. So Mawile takes down Alolan Raichu. As you can see on my Mawile here, I ran out of dust to get the second move, which I was okay with. Mawile was mostly there just for the bite. Sure, Power Up Punch would have been nice to boost the bite, but it's okay, it doesn't end up costing us too much anyway. So we just need to get to a second Shadow Punch here to finish off this Alolan Marowak. So big thanks to one of the local non-PvPers, Scott, for helping me out getting this Dusclops. I didn't have enough dust to power my own up. We got a lucky trade and he even put an extra move on it and changed some of the moves for me. So big thanks to Scott for that. I don't think I would have won or come close to winning this cup without that Dusclops, so thanks man. So here's where you really kind of see the just the difference in CPs on these Dusclops is making a big difference here. It's nice when you know you're going to win the mirror match. So it's a bit of a slow one. Dusclops is fairly tanky, takes a lot of hits. Sorry about my dog whining. And we just get to another Shadow Punch on this Alolan. Take the last shield from her, and so we switch into Haunter. We know we can shield whatever she's going to throw and still get to a Shadow Ball to KO, and she threw the Shadow Ball just in case. But instead of going, we save some energy because Shadow Punch is well within knockout range, which is great because now we can get to a Shadow Ball here and finish off the Lucario. So that's both matches to me, all three, sorry, because I've missed that first one. So next we get into AKA Master. This is a new, I guess, PvPer in Townsville. So I wasn't really sure what to expect with him. He's got a very solid team. He went for the 2-tank option. 2 goes Alolan Raichu as his Psychic and Poliwrath. It was very interesting to see when you don't really know what to expect, like some of the other PvPers we played against for all of Season 1, you kind of know what to expect. I really wasn't too sure with AKA Master, so I burned both my shields to protect my Claydol, but I've got a charge move in there in the back ready just in case. So he lets his Marowak go down, and now I'm stuck into Poliwrath, the Dusclops, and I have no shields. So it looks like he's charging up a heap of energy here, so my guess is this Poliwrath has has Hydro Pump. And sure enough, out comes the Hydro Pump, KOs me. So now I know my Poliwrath can take a Dynamic Punch here and survive, and I'll KO him with the Dynamic Punch. But he had Submission. That was very, very unexpected. I'll have to look into if that's a legacy move or not. But anyway, so we survived that. It's essentially the same, but I've got a little bit more HP on my Poliwrath. And his Dusclops comes out, so I just need to keep Ice Punching until it kills me. Now, I was expecting a Shadow Punch there, so it looks like he only has one move on his Dusclops. So after the first battle, it's quite helpful because now I know he's got a Poliwrath with Hydro Pump and submission. And sorry here, AKA Master, I didn't see that you weren't actually tapping. I apologize if you were lagging and I took you out. I'm sorry. If you were just letting the match go, okay, then that's fine. Anyway, so yeah. Sorry, anyway, so now we know his Dusclops probably doesn't have Shadow Punch, and his Poliwrath only has Submission and Hydro Pump. So his Probopass here would have probably been a really... I don't know, I was worried about seeing a Probopass with my team. Obviously, if I land a Dynamic Punch, it's okay, but... And there we can see he doesn't shield that Shadow Ball, so that essentially was the game there, so... Because he didn't want to waste 2 shields on just the attacks from my Haunter, which is fair enough. So, we get that... yeah, Dusclops down with that Shadow Ball. Now, Poliwrath actually used it a lot in the mirror match, so... With Dynamic Punch, if the other Poliwrath doesn't have Dynamic Punch and doesn't land a Hydro Pump, you're in pretty good order. Alright, so he's got Steelix out, so I just need 2 Dynamic Punches here, one fully shielded, and the other one to go through, and it's GG. And then we'll need to go on to the third match. So, yes, my Haunter is a Shadow Ball Legacy Haunter. I traded that with my wife's account, who stopped playing. Thanks, honey. It went lucky though, so it is very high Vs, but moveset's more important. So I was really happy with that. So now get a great lead here into his Probopass with our Steelix. So we just need to Earthquake, and we know we're going to take out that Probopass. So he bails, which is good for me because I had a heap of energy, so we can just crunch the heck out of this Dusclops. Not too worried about the Fire Punches. Sure, they'll do a lot of damage, but I'll preserve my shields for later. That Probopass may be problematic, so make sure I have some shields for that. So I do use one there to make sure I can keep Steelix up nice and high health. And then switch out to quickly kill with the Haunter. He probably had enough energy for a charge move, but wasn't willing to throw it blind. And I knew Haunter would definitely kill him before he probably really even got to see it and make a decision. So it's a bit of a jerk move by me. Oh, okay, good move, but anyway, yeah. Against the newer player, I guess it's pretty big of a jerk move. So Haunter goes down to his Steelix. No shields, full health, Poliwrath. That's a wrap for this matchup. So yeah, I ended up having a really good tournament after having some absolutely awful performances in my remote tournaments. I think I lost most of them. The only one I did well was a freestyle tournament, so I don't know if that really counts. Anyway, so we get an alright matchup here against Zephy. So Zephy is the former Townsville champ. I think he had 2 losses for the entirety of Season 1. One was fortunately against me, another one against Unistud. Unfortunately my charge moves aren't really very well suited for Alola Marowak. So we're just relying on Bubble here. So we take a Shadow Ball. Could have thrown the Ice Punch there. Would have made a big help for me to, I guess, have the lead advantage. But we double KO and we get a Steelix mirror match. His is shiny though, so shiny's probably going to win, right? I think he's baiting me here, but he isn't. So he lands the Earthquake. So I go for the bait, hoping to land, and yeah, he didn't go for it, so I'll go for the Earthquake. This is my only chance of getting a bit of this match back up, and he lets it go through. I was very surprised at that. But then I think I can see why here, so Cresselia. So he doesn't know what I have in the back, and yeah. So Dusclops, so even shields, all he needs to do is land one. If he has Future Sight, land one, and that should fairly well wrap up the match. So I did correctly not shield the Aurora Beam, and then I correctly shield the Future Sight, which is great, and he knows all I can do is throw Shadow Punch after Shadow Punch after Shadow Punch. So he just now needs to get to another Future Sight, and that's the game over. So yes, ideally I wouldn't have let him farm up my Steelix, but the timer was there because I switched earlier, so there's not much I can do. So next matchup, we get a shocking lead, Haunter into Steelix, get him out straight away, and he switches to Cresselia against my Poly. So I've just decided, now Poliwrath's done. I'm going to let him go. I'm just going to sacrifice him and he throws an Aurora Beam. So I'm like, yes, let's throw as many Ice Punches as we can here before he gets to another Future Sight. That was a great result for me. So you can see I got his Cresselia down to about a third of its health, and I didn't waste any shields. So Mawile is just going to bite down Cresselia. Out comes Alolan Marowak. So you see probably a few times in these matches I get that switch glitch. Doesn't end up really costing me much. It would be nice to throw my moves first, but it's fine. So yeah, actually awesome. I got a shield off the Marowak. So I think that was the key to winning this match. If he hadn't have shielded there, he probably wins this match. So because I can farm it down. I've got a Shadow Ball here, so I'm going to throw the Hail Mary hope. And yep, he was hoping I was going to bait. So I have to shield whatever he throws here. And you see I tapped the Shadow Punch, but then kept tapping the rest of the screen, because if I threw a Shadow Punch, he would have got one extra fast attack in, which may have been enough to carry me. So thanks to that, whatever the queued thing, you can keep tapping your fast attack and it'll overwrite whatever charged attack you just hit. So that was very fortunate for me. So awful match here. I attempted to switch to my Haunter to catch the Dynamic Punch, but it failed. So instead of going to Haunter, then I switched to my Claydol, throw some Earth Powers, and we get the shield, which probably we didn't want, but most importantly, we actually got the debuff. So his defense is down a little bit. So we'll go for it. We shielded up the Shadow Ball correctly before, sorry. Throw another Earth Power. So he's burnt both his shields. I've got no shields left, so this Shadow Ball is going to carry me. But my Haunter's there, and he's going to be able to farm a little bit of energy in KO. And now we've got a Steelix in the back with no shields left. So we're going to throw the Shadow Ball, switch straight to our Steelix, and throw the Crunch. So we get that off. We actually got one fast attack in there as well. Locke said that he did have an Earthquake ready, and he tried to tap it, but for some reason it didn't go through. And we are really lucky here again. We get to a Crunch. So that's enough just to chip away at that Poliwrath. And I can see here, now I know that he only has Dynamic Punch. So he's only got the one attack on his Poliwrath. So Haunter can eat that to the face quite comfortably, one of the only fighting moves he can, and we take him down. So now we move on to the last and final match, so against Brendan. Brendan and I are both 3-3 so far. Now, I accidentally got a call from work, and I was on call for work, so I had to run away. And thanks heaps to Broly. We come back in, and he hadn't tapped anything, and he's like, "You happy to continue the match?" I was like, "Well, I am if you are." He said, yeah, let's just keep going. So thanks heaps to that man. We did a little countdown, 1, 2, 3, and straight into it. So that's a champion effort. I don't think we see that very much in other places. So go Townsville, Pogo, Discord, PvPers. So thanks heaps for that, mate. So we're just doing a Ice Beam versus Shadow Punch. Little face off here, seeing who's willing to burn the shields and who isn't. So he's already burnt one, and I get to the next Shadow Punch again. So that was the deal sealer there. I'll let him take down. I'll keep my switch advantage up and go straight to my Poliwrath. Now I've got an extra shield, so I've got the shield advantage, and I've got Dynamic Punch, Nice Punch. So yeah, the charge moves aren't ideal for a Lolowak, but we get a shield out of him, so we pretty much know we're right here. Now he switches to his Shiny Lugia, so Shiny Flex there. And now I know I just need to keep hitting all of these Ice Punches. It's going to be much more effective than before. And we get a time up, and I was like, oh man, I was kind of on top. And I was like, look, we'll have to replay it. And Brendan was like, nah dude, you're on top. You won that match. So again, I can't speak highly enough of Broly 718. You were no way within your rights just to give up that match, and you happily did it, man. So I much respect from me, and thanks heaps. So next match, we get a fairly good lead match up here. We just need to land a Dynamic Punch, and Mawile's dead. Now he did bait me pretty well with that Power Up Punch. I find it really hard to count Marwell, so I didn't know if he was going to have Dazzling Gleam or not. So we get to the mirror match now, and we just need to land a dynamic punch, and we're on top. Boom, we get it. It's great. So we'll let him waste his energy. Our Poliwrath can go down, and we can bring in our Dusclops to finish off. Now, it would have been nice to not have the switch glitch again, but that's okay. It's only an ice punch. We can get off our Shadow Punch, and I'm pretty sure we're on top, still well on top on this matchup. It's got one more left, and we're up a shield. And sweet. So we get a Lolowat. We know we can just keep Shadow Punching and be super effective. We just need to block the Shadow Ball. If he threw a bone, he could bait with the Bone Club, but I don't know if he's going to get there to the next Bone Club. So yeah, its Shadow Punches just does way too much damage to that Alolan. Right, so that's the tournament wrapped up, and we just did the last match for a bit of funsies. So, more Shiny Flex. So the Shiny Drift Bloom comes out. Although it's a good matchup for Haunter, so as long as he doesn't get the buff, Haunter wins. Probably could have just gone straight to fast attacks. But I wanted to show off my flex of the Shadow Ball Haunter. Very bad use of energy, you know. But that's alright. So we throw the Shadow Punch, we get both shields are down now, we're only down one. So we get a positive match then with our Poliwrath being up a shield. It's bubbles that we can do everything, so we can eat one Shadow Ball and just keep bubbling away. We'll throw an Ice Punch just because this does a little bit of damage, I guess. We're going to get to a second one for the KO. So we'll keep that shield advantage there, and it's another Poliwrath. So if I can hit the Dynamic Punch, it must have been a CMP type. So if I get that Dynamic Punch, it's a win. So we swap to Steelix. Even though obviously this isn't your normal good matchup, Steelix can take a Dynamic Punch if he has to, but he's easily going to get to the crunch first. So that's it. We go 4-0 for the first tournament of Season 2 in Townsville. It's a really great close matchup, so thanks everyone for coming along. As you can see there, we've got the list rounded out of whoever versed. If anyone's keen to see that, check it out. Really love to see if anyone wants to come up to Townsville for some of our tournaments. That'd be great fun. We'd love to see some new people come along, some people from elsewhere. If anyone's going to come on holidays, it's pretty nice up here, pretty hot, but the fishing's good. I love it. So yeah, thanks heaps guys.